Right here on the Morning Scramble, the myths of happiness. What should make you happy but doesn't? What shouldn't make you happy but does? How many times have we fallen into that trap? I guess it is sometimes a trap. Oh, looking for happiness.
You know, I'll get to the end of the story. The end of the story is that we create the traps. All the unhappiness traps. It is not that the tragedies do not occur. It is not that there are really things that de-elevate our mood and make us unhappy. But the overarching research points to the way we are responding to the situations, the things that we believe about our level of happiness if we get divorced, if someone we love dies, if we lose our job.
Makes us happy or unhappy. Andrea Goeglein is with me, Positive Psychology, ServingSuccess.com. We're going to be talking a little bit about this book, the author of The How of Happiness.
Yes. Sonja Lyubomirsky.
Okay.
I never quite say her name as perfectly as I practice.
Well, no, you did, and you did.
She's a phenomenal researcher.
Well, I stopped with author of The How of Happiness. Yes. You notice I stopped short, right?
I call her Sonja all the time in my own mind.
You said something about the titles to the chapters were so engaging. What is it about that?
Okay, so me and books. Me and books is that most people read books, I use books. So when I look at the myth of happiness, what I'm looking at is how could someone really, what can you get from this book? And from the get-go, you know, the title is perfect because it immediately stops you. It's like, what is it that
what have
we're
I
doing?
Been thinking?
What am I believing about my happiness? Okay. So that starts you out. And then the very next thing, when you look at the chapter titles, it's really terrific. It's everything you've ever heard yourself say. I'll be happy when I'm married to the right person. I can't be happy when my relationship has fallen apart. Under the money ones. I can't be happy when I'm broke. Well, the chapter titles alone.
Many of the happiest people in the world are broke.
And they actually speak about that. And what this book offers is not necessarily a book you're going to sit on your sofa and read from, you know, beginning to end, unless you're someone like me who has a specific need for it. But what you will look at and in the chapters is those things that you have told yourself or that you're constantly in conversations with friends on, and you realize you're really buying into a bunch of stuff you've made up in your head, and how do you pull back from that? And with some very specific exercises that you can do.
We have a preconceived idea of how things must be structured and work out and be planned, which is not necessarily in any walk of life the way it is.
No.
Things do not happen that way, whether it be in your profession, your work life, your private life, whatever.
Correct.
Your personal life.
And Sonja has devoted a lot of her life to researching something known as hedonic adaptation. How we as...
Again?
Yes. Hedonic.
That's a lot like her last name.
No. It's actually a whole lot simpler. You know, we're, in positive psychology, there has been a term about the hedonic treadmill. The things that we do, we get on that little treadmill of racing towards
Is it the snowball effect?
Yeah, not the snowball effect so much as hedonistically, we create attributes of what we believe we need in our life in order to be happy.
Yes.
Life cannot be okay if it doesn't have these things. Yes. And so what Sonja has spent her life doing is researching how we as human beings adapt, and it is because we adapt. So I set up, if I meet the perfect person, I will get married and life will be wonderful. Then I meet the perfect person and I get all excited, and then it's a year into it and then a 2-year into it. What they find around the 2-year mark, that your happiness level, initially it may jump up, but then your happiness level kind of retracts back to where you were originally. And the reason that you do that is that you have adapted. That yes, sudden changes, be them good or bad, will have a spurt of you feeling either maybe happier or maybe unhappier. But over time, we will adapt back. And it's by adding skills. And the skills remain the same. How do we develop gratitude? Are you writing about the incidences? Do you have a community? Those things, the research shows time and time again. She has 30 pages of footnotes, which makes this book just a treasure for someone like me. I start with the titles. I mean, I have on 3 occasions this week appointed clients to go and buy the book, read the introduction, and then I direct them to whatever chapter has been our topic of conversation.
It's spurts of adrenaline and energy, or whatever we want to call it, that makes us momentarily happy. We experience them every day, usually.
Yes, and many times what will happen is that we'll set up a belief, and sometimes we don't even realize that we don't actually even want the belief. One of the great ones we have in our country is about having children. It is almost sacrilegious when a male or a female,
particularly, I do not want children.
They will be called selfish. But then there is the reality of those people who have children. And yes, everyone cherishes the moments when the baby grafts onto your finger and you're holding that baby. You know, then they start talking about the teenagers. You know, there's a joke about how everyone dreams about having children. Few dream about having the nightmare of having a teenager or other things that happen. And so there's wonderful research that supports you coming to an understanding of what is it that you are really wanting in your life.
So this tells us to do a lot of soul searching, if we want to use those types of words. Really define what we want, where we want to be.
Well, it asks you to come out from under the covers.
Okay.
If you've been telling yourself, I'm not happy because I don't have a mate, or my job is not the best job in the whole world, or that I lost a loved one and I can never be happy again, it's asking you to come face to face with looking at your life and saying, is it something I really wanted? Am I really that unhappy, or am I stopping myself from enjoying the beautiful things that are happening in a present moment because it's not right? You know,
and you know, you're talking about a death of a loved one. Many times that block to happiness, and I think we neglect to look at this, there's a guilt. I'm guilty. I've lost a loved one. I'm guilty if I'm happy again.
Correct.
I feel guilty.
And many religious traditions actually had a 1 year where you dressed in black. You did many things that...
The mourning.
Absolutely.
Andrea, always great to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
ServingSuccess.com is the website. Look her up. When we come back, closing thoughts and moments. You stay right there.